Taehyung eyes widened and went silent after what Jungkook said, and when the police find you, none of this will be here anymore. No freedom for you. You will go back to those schedules and marry Jungkook. Jungkook said, and Taehyung was silent again. But what else I can do? That's how my life is, Taehyung said, and while his eyes was getting teary. Jungkook held Taehyung's hand and said, "You are already free from that lab, Taehyung. You are already here." Jungkook decided to head back to the cabin and Taehyung grabbed his arms. They were walking together. Meanwhile, Hoseok came into Jin's office after Jin had called for him. "Hey, Officer Jin, you can call me Hoseok?" asked Jin. Nodded and waved at Hoseok while he put his paper and laptop aside. "I call you in because of Jiwon. Apparently, Daniel has called me 2 days ago saying that Jiwon might have remembered a few things about what happened to him. I would like to come with me. It would be related to Taehyung," Jin said, and Hoseok nodded while they left the office right away. While after they arrived at the hospital, Hoseok see Daniel waiting outside while avoiding him. "Is he okay to talk to us?" Jin asked Daniel, and Daniel nods at him. "He is still a little weak, but manageable," Daniel said, and both Jin and Hoseok went to see JaeHyun. Who was looking pale as he lay on the hospital bed and opened his eyes when he heard footsteps coming in afternoon. Jihoon, hi Officer Jin, I am currently working in Taehyung's case. I brought Jihoon Hoseok with me here, Jin said, and nodded his head slightly. "It's nice to hear that you are recovering well. By the way," Jin asked while he prepared his note and pen. Hyunji shook his head and little and Jin nodded while Hoseok took a seat by the corner. "I'm just going to ask you for 4 things, alright? So the first question, what did you exactly remember?" Jin asked, and Jihyun took a deep breath before removing his oxygen mask slowly. "He beat me up," Taehyung watched. Jihyun spoke weakly, but Jin could hear everything while Hoseok had his eyes wiped. Jin took his down on his note and asked, "Does he have a name? Do you remember? Maybe a rough idea on how he looked like?" Jian closed his eyes and took a deep breath again while Jin was hoping to get the name. "He is a friend of Taehyung," Jian said, and Hoseok got up from his seat to hear it clearly. "Go on, you know the name." "You look familiar," Jian muttered, and Hoseok frowned while Jin sighed heavily. "Jian, please, we really need to know where Taehyung could be. Only you would know where exactly or who would have taken Taehyung," Jin said while Jian went quiet. Hoseok sighed and was about to give up. He headed off the door until Jian spoke up. "His name is Jian said, and Jin nodded while he could see Jian putting his oxygen mask back on. His thanked Jian his time and left the room and let Jian sit while Hoseok was wondering which Jian could Jian be talking about. Daniel stood up then. "I hope whatever Jian said could help. I left my job for the better." Hoseok scoffed and said, "Don't act as if we would show you any pity. Who know you are hiding something else too." Jin nodded as Daniel and thanked him once again while he takes Hoseok out of the hospital. "If you still have any issue with Daniel, don't do it in the hospital. At least we got a first name of the suspect. This is no longer a missing case, it's a kidnapping case," Jin said, and Hoseok sighed even more. "If Taehyung is really, I hope he is okay out there," Hoseok said as Jin agreed with. They head back to the office. As they got into the car, Jin showed Hoseok the picture he took in the CCTV. This guy dressed in black hoodie with a black mask could be the suspect named Jian. Hoseok was right. The suspect is a fan of Taehyung. That night, Taehyung was feeling slightly after resting up on the bed when he suddenly thought about what Jungkook said earlier. Maybe he was right. He knew that I was not happy, Taehyung said inside deeply. If the police find me here, I would go back to drink seduce and even marry that, and Jungkook would be in jail his whole life. Taehyung murmured to himself. He stood up from his bed and looked out of the window while crossing his arm. And here Jungkook has not hurt me, but look after me, giving me the time to rest and show me how it's like to be free. Then the door opened and it was revolving to be Jungkook while he had a smile on his face. Why are you standing by the window? Jungkook asked, and Taehyung smiled at him. Just thinking about what you said earlier. You were right, Jungkook. I guess I am an idiot for not thinking the way, Taehyung said. Jungkook smiled and approaching him while holding his hand. Just know that I won't hurt you, not even a little bit, and I promise you to always make sure that you have that smile every day. Taehyung nodded, and they had downstairs together to have dinner while Jungkook made enjoying your dinner. If isn't nice, just say it, okay? Jungkook said, and Taehyung took a bite. He smiled and said, "It's actually really nice." Jungkook was glad to hear that and smiled while he also joined to eat dinner. As they were eating, Jungkook stared at Taehyung and said, "Did you mean everything that you said earlier?" Taehyung saw his food and said, "Yes, I did. If I didn't mean it, I wouldn't even wait to sit there." Jungkook chuckled and nodded his head while eating his food. "Alright, Taehyung, I'll take your words this time," Jungkook said. Jin was finding out who Jeon could be as he looked at every photo and other information. Jeon is the surname, Jin murmured to himself and started typing the name into the search engine. Then a few people with the name Taehyung said, and Jungkook looked at the time. Taehyung headed back to his room and sat down on his bed when he saw Jungkook standing by the doorway. "What the matter?" Taehyung asked, and Jungkook smiled before shaking his head. "Nothing, good night," Jungkook said, and he was about to close the door, but Taehyung stopped at him. Taehyung pat his head on the empty space next to him and said, "If you want to sleep here, it's fine too." Jungkook nodded and he walked to corner to take a seat while he usually sit, but Taehyung at him. "I mean on the bed. You've been also on the same chair every day," Taehyung said, and Jungkook nodded while he sat on the empty space. Taehyung lay on his bed on the pillow and yawned while stretching out his body. "Are you really going to watch me sleep?" Taehyung asked, and Jungkook chuckled while he lay down next to Taehyung, facing him. "Would you allow me to do?" Jungkook asked, and Taehyung nodded while he shut his eyes tightly to sleep. Then Jungkook held Taehyung's hand while watching him sleep, and Taehyung held Jungkook tightly as well. "Don't worry, I won't let you go of your hand," Taehyung said, and Jungkook smiled at him. "Taehyung, are you happy right now being with me?" Jungkook asked, and Taehyung chuckled while he turned to face Jungkook. I'm starting to feel the happiness. It seems nice and better than before," Taehyung said, and Jungkook moved closer while he gave a kiss on Taehyung's forehead. "That's what I'm going to do every day, just like I promised," Jungkook said, and Taehyung nodded his head. "I'll look forward to that." Next day, "Do you have a son or daughter?" Jin asked. "They have a son by the name of Jeon Jungkook," the colleague said, and Jin nods at him. Jin get in the car while he is the phone number on the paper. He dialed the number and called Jungkook to see if he would answer the phone. Then "I've been expecting a call from you, Officer Jin." Jin signed and heard Jungkook voice for the first time while he rolled his car a window. "Taehyung, is too innocent, Jungkook," Jin said, and he heard Jungkook laugh. Jin shook his head and said, "Let's meet and talk man to man, unless you want to play a coward in this game." He heard Jungkook laugh again. "Officer Jin, I'm up for that. If I was a coward, And and let me tell you this, no matter what happened, you take the hang away from. Jin realized that Jungkook was the hang, and he clenched his fist tightly. You have to return the hang back to us somehow, Jungkook. Things will get ugly if you won't cooperate with me. Jin wanted him, but Jungkook was a strong opponent. I love it when it gets ugly. I gotta go, officer. I shall see you very soon. Before Jin could say anything, Jungkook had already hung up the phone, and Jin was annoyed. Meanwhile, Jungkook was getting ready to head out when he saw Taehyung coming out of the room. Which you are going out? Taehyung asked, and Jungkook nods with a smile on his face. I'll buy something for you, okay? I made breakfast downstairs, so have some, Jungkook said, and Taehyung thanked him for it. Before Jungkook left, Taehyung grabbed his hand and said, "Please come first home." Jungkook promised him and gave him a quick peek on Taehyung's hand, and before leaving, he got up on his motorcycle and drove while finding out where he was going to be stopping at. As Jungkook was driving along the street, he managed to find someone who is looking for. He parked his motorcycle in the alley and waited for the curtain someone to come out. When his target came out of his cafe, Jungkook grabbed him by his arms and head while dragging deep into the alley. Officer Jin, Jungkook said. "Look, Jungkook, see, both of us can settle this the easy way. You are giving Taehyung back to us and we won't hurt you," Jin said, and Jungkook shook his head. "Taehyung will always be with me. I'll protect him for all of those," Jungkook said, and Jin was about to him, but Jungkook it. "You are weak for a police officer, Jin. They never come in between me and Taehyung. I'll hurt them until the end," Jungkook said. "Let this be my warning to you, Jin. The next time you are in," Jungkook said, and go back on his motorcycle before driving off. Jin got up back on his feet to walk back to his car. He started limping to his car, and when he got in, he took his phone off. He dialed Hoseok's number and told him to meet somewhere. While Jin started the car engineering, Taehyung had just finished eating his breakfast and was washing his plate while looking at the time. He grabbed his cup of tea and decided to walk around the cabin since he didn't get to see the another room. Taehyung's hand upstairs and noticed Jungkook's room while he seemed hesitate to go in. "Should I or not?" Taehyung muttered, and he took a deep breath while walking closer to the door. He turned and realized that it was unlocked while he opened the door slowly and carefully. When Taehyung stepped inside the room, he realized that it was filled with posters of him, and there were people of him everywhere. "Oh," Taehyung said. He was in awe while he took a closer look at the photos. Jungkook even collected his album, and Taehyung walked to the shelves to see other photos of him. "I have the worst photo, but he still kept them," Taehyung said to himself, and smiled while he kept the photo back on the shelf. He sat on a Jungkook bed and continued to look around the room. "Well, at least he is a fan," Taehyung said as he decided to leave the room before Jungkook came home. Then he saw the photo frame on the table and realized that it was not a picture of him. It was someone else. "Who is this?" Taehyung asked himself and wondered which one is Jungkook. Before Taehyung could put it in bag, he heard Jungkook arriving home, and he kept the phone back before heading downstairs. "Hey, what were you doing?" Jungkook asked. "Turn around to the cabin, so I just wanted to see what others' rooms are there," Taehyung said, and Jungkook nodded while he decided to start making lunch. Jungkook took his ingredients out and said, "You went into my room, didn't you?" Taehyung was surprised that Jungkook knew it and said, "I'm sorry, but still I was unlocked. Jungkook shook and applied to Taehyung while he started preparing lunch. I saw a photo on your table, a photo of you and someone else when you were kids, Taehyung said, and Jungkook turned to look at him. That someone is my older brother. Taehyung was surprised to hear Jungkook talking about having a brother. He means the world to me, but he left when I was only 7 years old. Till now, I couldn't find him, Jungkook said, and he sat down on his chair while Taehyung moved closer to him. I don't even know if he is alive or not, but none of that matter. I am hyper desperate, Jungkook said, and Taehyung nodded while I smiled. I'm sure he know about you. I'll find you someday, okay? Taehyung said while assuming him. Then Taehyung hugged him, making Jungkook surprised, but he hugged Taehyung back. What are you doing? Jungkook asked. I thought you would need it, Taehyung said, and Jungkook chuckled while patting his back. Jungkook thanked Taehyung and stood up to continue cooking, but he stopped. Something wrong, Jungkook? Taehyung asked. Jungkook smiled and turned around while he leaned close to Taehyung's face, placing both his hands on Taehyung's face. You still continue to amaze me, Kim, Taehyung, Jungkook said, and Taehyung smiled. Jungkook smiled at him and turned around while he started cooking. Taehyung could feel his heartbeat beating fast, and he tried to calm down. Am I actually falling in love with him? Taehyung thought to himself. Taehyung decided to get some rest upstairs before he started blushing and went upstairs right away. I guess he's in love, Jungkook said, and started laughing to himself. Jin was coming out of the clinic with bandage of his face when he see Hoseok arrive after taking his bus. What the happened? Hoseok asked, and Jin sighed while they got into the car. I found out who took Taehyung, Jin said, and Hoseok eyes widened while he wanted to know who it was. His name is John, Jungkook, a surprised fan of Taehyung. I'm still not sure where he skipped Taehyung, but I know he's not going to surrender Taehyung back to us, Jin explained, and Hoseok was in disbelief. Hoseok sighed and said, so what are you going to do? Jin said to his shoulder and said, well, he didn't this to me. He's strong guy and he just need to wear his. When they arrived at the office, Jin started searching for the possibility on where Jungkook hideout could be. Hoseok sat on the couch and said, the good news is Taehyung is still alive, right? Jin nodded his head, and Hoseok was revealed to heart, and while he lay on the couch as he was feeling the stress all over again. Later, Jungkook was done with lunch and placed everything on the dining table. He heard the footstep on the stairs and turned, seeing Taehyung walking towards the table. Wow, all this food for lunch, Taehyung said, and Jungkook covered the seat on the table. Taehyung took a bite of the rice and chicken until he started clapping his hand loudly. Jungkook, you are the bomb, Taehyung said happily, and Jungkook was glad while he sat down to join the meeting. Do you have a dream country that you want to go to? Jungkook asked, and Taehyung was thinking about it. Taehyung took a sip of his drink and said, I've been wanting to go to Spain. It seems since when you seen the photos and videos. Jungkook was impressed and he thought of an idea. If I were to take you there someday, would you go? Taehyung was certain but he smiled at the end. Actually, I would go if you would come with me. Jungkook smiled and continued to eat his lunch happily. Of course I would, Jungkook said, and Taehyung was already excited about it. After their lunch, Taehyung walked to the living room and lied down the couch while enjoying the breeze coming from the window. Jungkook seen him from the kitchen and he thought of an idea while putting the plate back. Then Jungkook started singing, and Taehyung was surprised to hear Jungkook was singing one of the songs in the album. As Jungkook was singing, Taehyung came in between, and Jungkook smiled bigger as they were singing together. "I didn't know you could sing," Taehyung said, and Jungkook gave a wink while he came to join to Taehyung in the living room. "I love the song. It was one of my favorite," Jungkook said, and Taehyung was happy to hear that. They turned the TV on, and Taehyung see himself going on the news while they sang heavily. "They are going to find you, Taehyung." "I know they will," Jungkook said. Taehyung sat up from couch and sit on the floor beside Jungkook. "I won't let them hurt you," thought Jungkook. Taehyung said, and Jungkook shook his head. "If they did, at least I'll be happy getting hurt because I got to spend time with you, just the two of us," Jungkook said, and Taehyung laid his head on Jungkook's shoulder. Taehyung seemed upset and said, "Well, I can't bear to watch you getting hurt at all." Jungkook smiled and said, "I know." Meanwhile, Hoseok was asleep on Jin's couch while Jin was still trying to find out where Jungkook could be. He sighed heavily and said, "If only JaeHyun could remember where he was before this." The only one his colleagues came with the report, and Jin wrote that and report quickly but carefully. "Anything new?" Hoseok asked after waking up from his nap and sat by Jin's desk. "This Jungkook guy is so. Just pray that Taehyung is still alive when we find him," Jin said, and Hoseok had goosebumps already. "I should probably meet him and make a deal, because if he still wants to play this game, he will be in very big trouble," Jin said, and take his phone out. He called Jungkook's number, but there was no answer, making Jin slam his hand on the table. "Maybe you just have to wait, Jin. I'm sure he'll come to you just like today," Hoseok said, and Jin knew that he was right. Hoseok decided to head off to work before he ended up being late of his class. "Officer Jin, I know deep down Taehyung knows we are looking for him, and I'm sure he'll also find a way to give us a sign to where he is," Hoseok said, and left the office. "I wish that could happen, Hoseok."